And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our 338th Hand and Footprint honoree, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, everybody sit down. Where's Arnold? Oh, there you are. I just wanted to say one thing about the Arnold thing. The kind of guy Arnold is that I was a supporting part in the movie originally, and when the movie was cut together and Jim saw that it was a domestic, a relationship epic, he called me and he said that they were going to put my name above the title, which is something that my agents, many of whom are here, work very hard to get and often don't. And what he said is that it was Arnold's idea, that it wasn't even Jim's, it was Arnold's, that Arnold felt that I should be up there with him, which was not part of my contract. So, by the way, I think that says more about who Arnold Schwarzenegger is. A man whose life has been defined by that genre, allowing me to be there up beside him was a moment. And Melanie, Miss Kiss, you know, it's so funny. You said to me, you know, I don't know what to say, and I'm afraid I'm not going to say the right thing. But you are incredible. That was exquisite, exquisitely written, beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you both for coming here. Okay, this is shitty light. And for all the photographers, I know it's bad, so you really want that picture, so I'm sure you don't need pictures of me talking up here. I just want to say a couple things because there's some people here, and it is a moment to take a moment of. So I woke up this morning, I stayed across the street because I was here late last night, and I woke up and it was gray and cloudy, and apparently somebody said it rained in Los Angeles last night. And I'm born and raised in the City of Angels. I am born and raised here, and this is the kind of day that I remember my entire childhood. I don't remember it raining. I don't remember it gray and gloomy, and apparently now we live in the tropics. But back in the day, we live in a desert, and I was bummed out that it was gray and cloudy, because I thought, well, that's just not me. And now look. This is seriously my childhood. You know, I use this term a lot. My friends, my family know I use this term a lot. I like to connect dots. I'm a dot connector. I'm a weapon of mass promotion. Thank you, Michael Moses. Just so you know, Michael Moses, the head of marketing at Universal Pictures, because of my, by the way, because of my prowess on the gram, had a golden hand grenade statue made on a marble platform saying for our weapon of mass promotion award for Jamie Lee Curtis, which he had delivered to my room yesterday. But I like to connect dots. I need to connect dots. It's how, do you remember Connect the Dots? Those things? And you see this moment, you all sitting there, my family sitting there. This is just one giant effing connect the dot for me, literally. And I know where it started, my parents, and I want to honor Janet Lee and Tony Curtis for the gift of life, for their perseverance through incredibly meager and hard scrabble lives to become these legendary stars in this City of Angels. I need to start with them because I'm here because of them. There's a man named Chuck Binder, who none of you know, or very few of you may know, who's a manager who was teaching tennis at my friend Debbie Dresner's court when I visited him when I was on a break from college, and he said, you know, I'm managing actresses now, because that's what happens in Los Angeles. You teach tennis, you manage actresses. And he said, you know, you should go up for Nancy Drew. I was home from college. I was like, okay. And I went to Universal and auditioned for Nancy Drew. And I didn't get it, and somehow somebody there said something, and I ended up sticking around, and I ended up with a 7-year contract at Universal Studios. They had the 6-month options. I got paid like $300 a week, but that was how I started acting. Without Chuck Binder, I wouldn't be standing where I am right now. I would be a police officer, and proud to be one, by the way, for all the police officers in the room. Proud to be a police officer if that had been the path that life had taken me. So I'm minding my own business. I'm doing some work. I get fired from a TV show that I was hired on. I thought it was the worst day of my life. I thought my life was over. I thought my career was over. My contract would be over. And if I hadn't been fired from Operation Petticoat, a Universal television show, if I hadn't been fired from Operation Petticoat, I would not have been available for Chuck Binder to say, hey, they're making this really low-budget horror film on Cahuenga in this tiny little shitty office. Why don't you go up for it? And that, ladies, gentlemen, and others and alls, is Halloween, which is also the reason I am standing here today. And that includes John Carpenter and Deborah Hill, the late, great Deborah Hill, who wrote the part of Laurie Strode, and Malik Akkad, who is sitting there, who is our producer. Malik's father, Mustafa Akkad, was the man who put up the money for the original film, and Kyle Richards, sitting next to him, played Lindsay, who was 7, back in 1978 in March in Los Angeles. That's another dot connected for me here. That's also why I'm here. So Halloween changed my life. It gave me a career. Obviously, I followed with a few horror films, managed to get out of those. A lot of beautiful dots connecting with John Landis meeting me because of a horror film-related short he was doing. That's how I met John Landis. He was directing a short for Universal called Coming Soon, about horror movie trailers in the 50s, and he needed somebody to narrate it. Who would you call? I know, the Scream Queen. I met him. He ended up hiring me, the Scream Queen, to be the female lead in a comedy for Paramount with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd, which also changed my life. That was John Landis. Wait, hold please. I'm just trying to do filmography in my brain. I took Quaaludes back in 1978. Once in a blue moon, I get like that pausey feeling. John Cleese, thank you. John Cleese saw that, wrote the part in A Fish Called Wanda. Jim Cameron saw that, wrote the part in True Lies. Link, 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 link. Sell yogurt that makes you poop. Marry a man whose photograph I saw in a magazine and said I was going to marry him, and married him. I knew, babe. I just knew. We have children, my daughter Annie, my daughter Ruby. They are married. They both got married in the backyard. My family life is amazing. Life is sweet. Life is good. I have friends. I feel important in their lives. I'm connecting dots personally and professionally and philanthropically, politically, starting to speak, starting to say what I think, say what you mean what you say, don't say it mean, but mean what you say. And I was minding my own effing business, and the phone rang. And it was Jake Gyllenhaal. And I know all y'all are like, Jake Gyllenhaal? Really? He just calls? I'm like, yeah, he's my godson. Jake Gyllenhaal called and said that his friend, Dave Green, David Gordon Green, I call you Dave. I don't know why. Does anybody else call you Dave? Just me. I call him Dave. I don't know. Casual, personal. David Gordon Green wanted to talk to me about a Halloween movie. I was like, oh, okay. David called me And because of David's relationship with Jason Blum, who had written him an email when he worked with Moloch to get the rights to the thing, the next thing I know, we're making a movie in 2018, which introduces Laurie Strode's family, Judy Greer and Andy Matichik. Andy is sitting here. And the rest, as they say, is history. Laurie Strode lived again, and that movie in 2018 was such an enormous moment for me, because what it not only gave the world, which was a reintroduction to Laurie Strode and Halloween and Michael Myers and this epic conflict between good and evil, it also gave me a creative life that I have been wanting since I was a young girl. And that creative life is through my partnership with Jason Blum. And I cannot tell you how turned on I am. I came back from making a movie with David Gordon Green. I said, you flipped my switch, dude. I am on, and I am on now. Game on. And because of it, and it's not a euphemism, people. My husband is there. I'm saying it's a creative switch. And because of it, Jason and I are now producing movies and television shows, going after it hard. There are stories to tell, there are important stories to tell, and I now get to because of Laurie Strode. So once again, all those dots connecting back, if I had a camera here and I took a picture of all this, all of those dots would add up to this moment here. I am proud to be the daughter of Janet Leigh and Tony Curtis. I am proud to be the wife of Christopher Guest. I am so proud to be the parent of Annie Guest and Ruby Grayman. And I'm really proud to be a friend to so many people who share everything with me. Good, bad, hard, soft, joyful, tragic, because that's the beautiful part of life. We're here together. We're supposed to help each other. Never give up, never give up, never give up, never give up. God bless you all. Thank you so much for my life.